All right, here we go. So I'm here with Dave. Dave, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, man. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
40 years old. I'm from Bloomsburg, PA, and I guess you could say I've been screwing my life up for about 15 years straight now, believe it or not, right here on the streets.
Yeah. How did you end up on the streets?
Long story short, I came home one day. I was 16 years old. My stepdad was standing on the back porch with a slum look on his face, and he said, "Your mom killed herself, and you need to get out." And I said, "What?" And pretty much after that day, I was homeless, and I started using heroin that day, and it just barreled on from there. Prison, homelessness, and there was a period of almost 9 years of my life, sometime between then and 40 now, that I had a son, I had a girlfriend. I lived a fairly normal life for almost 10 years, and then how I said I was on the street 15 years. One day I decided I wanted to get high, and I didn't want to present that to anybody around me in my life that I had made. And I basically walked my son to school. I kissed him on the cheek, and I said, "I love you, buddy. I'll see you after school." And I left, and I have not ever went back. So.
How old did you say you were when your mom killed herself?
16, almost 17. And that was after I had already lost my dad, my sister, both of my grandparents, a few friends, and 2 uncles. So that was just kind of icing the cake for me.
Yeah.
But
that's rough, man.
Yeah,
That's rough.
that threw me overboard, to say the least.
What did you lose your dad and your sister from?
My sister died in a car accident 2 years before my mom. My dad died of cancer when I was 10.
Do you think that played any kind of role of your mom taking her own life, that she couldn't get over losing her daughter, or?
I think it played a big role in it.
Yeah, yeah. What drug did you start out with?
Pills, like Oxycontins and Percocets, Klonopins, stuff like that,
How long did it take until you progressed to heroin?
Oh my gosh. Probably not even a year.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "I don't have," as a matter of fact, it was somebody real close. "I don't have heroin, but I have heroin." And that feels the same way, they say. So there it was. I did it and fell in love. And for me, some people say, once you do it once, you're hooked. And some people say it's not true. Well, I love fishing, so the first time I did it, the barb was in, and that was it.
Yeah. What is it like being homeless out here? Like, describe what your daily routine consists of.
Well, my daily routine is, oh gosh, I'm a loner, to say the least, but I wake up, I do a little bit of dope because I always make sure I save some from the night before. And then I go out and, believe it or not, I'm not like most. I don't steal or beg from people or the stores. I did do that many, many years before, but I don't do it anymore. I will walk around like to these houses or something, say maybe there's a U-Haul sitting out front of the gray house there. They're unloading stuff. "Excuse me, sir, could I please help you, unload the stuff? I need some work. I don't care what you pay me, whether it be $5, $2. It's more money than I have in my pocket right now, and I'm homeless, and I would rather work for $1 than do something stupid for it." So,
Sure.
but basically that's what I do. And also, unfortunately, say they might be doing giveaways, and they gave out I don't know, like a pack of hand wipes or something. So then I take the hand wipes and go sell them for $2 or $3. Trust me, I'm not okay with this, but that's just the nature of my beast. Not speaking for anybody else.
Sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I get by, But
How much you think you spend a day on drugs?
on the average day, I probably only spend anywhere between $20 to $35. Now, I say that, but if you gave me $1,000 right now, dude, I bet you easily, just myself, could blow through 250 of it just today.
Yeah.
And still be here talking to you, not even like nothing. It's just, that just makes it even more crazy, you know, to do, because what's the sense? I'm never achieving. What am I trying to achieve?
Yeah.
I'm never going to get there. And then I just continue to make myself suffer for it. It's sickening. It's so sickening. I literally find myself crying every fucking night. Sorry for swearing and saying all that.
No, you're good.
It's just, I don't know. I don't hide anything from myself or and other people. Like, I realize how sickening it is, and that's what, it just eats me up every day, that I can't just put my foot down and say,
enough is enough.
enough is enough, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, but like I told you before you turned the camera, I feel like the longer I'm out here, the more screws get put in the door, you know? It's like, I don't know. Sometimes I ask myself, what's it gonna take, you know?
You feel like you've hit your rock bottom?
I feel like I hit rock bottom and fell through to another hole,
Another
and another
dimension?
one, you know. Believe it or not, I have bracelets on from the hospital, but this specific time, me being in the hospital, I was in almost 2.5 months. I had pneumonia, botulism, and 2 other things for, like, I don't know.
What is botulism?
Botulism is like something third world countries get because of the food they eat. It's like rotten, or, you know, like it's contaminated or something, like germs, basically, like serious germs. But anyways, it's a deadly disease, like in, say, Africa and shit. It'll kill you. But around here, I hate to say it too, but I eat out of the garbage, dude, like every day, all day. And it's because I won't come up to somebody and say, hey, can I have $1 to get something to eat? I can't. I can't do it. I hate giving people a pry bar to say, here, well, you're a junkie because you did, you know, see what I'm saying? I don't do that, so I don't want to give nobody any reason to say this about me. I already feel bad enough about what I am. So I eat out the trash, and then I don't have to ask nobody for nothing, and I didn't steal nothing from the store. And it's just, to me, I just feel like there's no issues because that's how I get by versus other ways, you know?
Yeah.
And like I keep saying, I know it's not cool. It's really not. And it's gross and everything else, but, you know, I'm not going to reach in there and pull out a burger that has hair all over on it and like a rotten piece of pizza on the side of it. Like, you know, I'm going to get, like, oh, there's a Pop-Tart that's totally shut, you know what I mean? Or there's a McDonald's bag on the ground, and, you know, there's a couple of fries and a bite took out of the burger, but it's still good. I'm eating it, you know. That's just what I do. But honestly, they give out. They're doing it right now in the park. They give out food all the time,
Yeah.
you know, all the time. But there's times when they don't, and I don't know about you, but I love to eat, even if it's whatever. I just love to eat.
Yeah.
I'm probably addicted to food too, just as
too.
much.
You know,
But
I feel you.
you know, and sometimes it could be late at night. Like, they're not giving away food at 12 o'clock at night, and I'm laying there starving or something. No, I gotta get something to eat. I just go find it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's rough. It's really rough. It really is.
Do you feel like all the trauma you've been through regarding, you know, obviously losing your mom, your sister, and family members, people close to you, how do you cope with that? Obviously, that has an everlasting effect.
The first thing that came to mind was I snuff it out. I don't think about it. I guess I pretend that it didn't happen, or it's not real, and I just take my train of thought somewhere else. If I land on that spot in my head, I take it somewhere else, because I guess I can't deal with it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
I understand. Do you have anybody you can reach out to, friends, family, etc.? Like, that would help you if you need it?
Believe it or not, when I just said I had all that stuff wrong with me, I was in the hospital for like 2 months. I actually woke up from surgery, and remember I told you I didn't see my son since he was 9 years old?
Yeah.
I woke up and he was standing next to my bed with his mom after all these years holding my hand.
That's awesome, man.
And you know what he said to me? He said, "I love you, Dad." And all I could ever think was that he was gonna hate me. He would never call me Dad, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And immediately those were the first things that came out of his mouth. And I just couldn't believe it that happened, but somehow or another, I guess the hospital, she was my emergency contact, has been forever. So when, you know, it was life and death situation, they called her. And supposedly after I talked to him for a while, they've had missing persons things out for me for years. They've had, I have a family member, like a distant family member, who's actually like a policeman in one of my local towns where I grew up. He's been looking for me. Like, I have 2 uncles left alive. Those are like my closest family members left, are my 2 uncles. And then she says that they're trying to find me, and you know, I ended up.
That just goes to show you you're loved.
Yeah, and I ended up calling one of my uncles, and he basically said, he said, why are you outside? Why don't you come here? And it just blew my mind to think that I'm out here every day. And I guess it just makes me sick because I can't find real love ever out here, ever. I can't find it in a friend. I can't find it in somebody that I'm working for. I can't find it, and I can't see it and feel it like I need to. If you know what I'm saying. Everybody needs to feel that love some sort of way, and I can't ever fucking feel it out here. But that's my fault because I keep doing this. But when I woke up and see my son, and it was like a vivid reminder of what it felt like to feel that. And it was like all my issues in my head, the drugs, everything, it was just like totally gone for a moment, thank God. And I just felt that for the first time since, remember I said I kissed my son and sent him into school? That's the first time I felt that since that damn day. And it's been all these years. And then all this stuff happens. They say, you can come, my uncle says, you can come stay with me. You don't have to be on the street. Da-da-da-da-da. My son says he wants a relationship with me. He wants to go fishing with me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just too much to take. And I'm bawling, and I'm saying, as soon as I leave the hospital, I'm coming straight back to my area, and life's going to be different. You know what I did? Well, you already know what I did. Look where I stand.
Do you think that true love from them, though, whether it's your son, your son's mom, your uncles, do you think that's worth getting clean for?
That's the only thing worth getting clean for.
You can do it.
But why?
Does the thought of detoxing and withdrawing scare you?
Yeah, that's horrifying. But why didn't I guess the only thing I could think of why I didn't just leave that hospital and get it together is because they weren't there. They weren't standing right there. Nobody was right there. It was just me and what I like to call the monster again, alone. And he controls me like a puppet. And when I'm alone, it's game over. There's nothing, you know, for me it just seems like I can't control it. It controls me. But when like they were standing there, it was like, I was strong, you know what I mean? I didn't care, like, come on, let's go. There was no issues. I could have faced the world, it felt like.
Yeah.
But as soon as they disappeared.
You ever tried any kind of rehab with some structure to it, where there's people, there's people around there constantly to maybe make you feel like that? Obviously, it's not the people you love, but
I have a few times. As a matter of fact, just the only time recently, though, I was in. You might have heard about a Kirkbride rehab, which some people have their ways about it. But dude, I spent like 35 days there or something. believe it or not, I gained almost 44 pounds in 35 days. That shows you how much I was emaciated, to say the least. But anyways,
eating good.
I felt amazing while I was there. I felt ready to face the world again, you know. I felt the love, but I didn't feel it like that, but I felt it enough that I was ready to take a step, you know. I was willing to take the step, at the very least. But I left the rehab, I went to a recovery house, and I don't know whether sometimes you lie to yourself or not, but dude, this recovery house was just, the people there were so ignorant and rude, and I hate to say it, but I really think racist to me, that it drove me to like think I either gotta leave here and go somewhere else, or I just gotta leave, period. So one day I think it was like 10 days after I got out of the rehab, I just said, I can't take it anymore. The director or whatever one day said something, racial comment towards me or something. That's it, I'm done. And I just left. And then I came back to the street. But
What's your biggest fear in life?
oh my God. My biggest fear in life, I guess, we'd find out that my son or her, his mom, is dead. Because I told you, everybody, I lost already, but I mean, for Christ's sake, sorry for my French, but he can't take anybody else from me. He can't. He's got to take me first, because there's no way in hell that I can deal with a loss that severe, that close to me ever again before my lights are turned out, because there's just no way, dude. Most people experience death, you know, a few times in their life, and then they die, but I'm not saying I'm special or anything, but I just feel like I have a curse for some reason, and I don't think I deserved or shouldn't have lost every fucking buddy I loved in my family like that. And then my stepdad saying, get out of the house. Like, you know how bad I needed him right then and there? I needed him more than I've ever needed heroin in my entire life when he said that to me. Your mom is dead. And he said, then he says, yeah, and I needed him, like I said, and that's just, I can't even explain it to you.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, before we wrap it up, man, if there's any kids who may see this, teenagers, you know, what have you, what would your message to them be?
My message would be whatever you think you're gonna come out here and get, whether it be kicks your rocks off, fun, for Christ's sake, you're never gonna find it. And if you do, it's gonna not be real, and it's gonna feel good maybe for a moment. But I guarantee you, if you can remember my face, somewhere down the road, you're gonna realize that I'm not lying to you. And if you could just stop before you even get started, because there's nothing out here that could be better than feeling, like I said, the love thing. There's nothing better that could be feeling loved, sitting on the couch next to your girlfriend, screwing her, eating food from a restaurant, going to see a movie, jumping in your car and driving somewhere, you know, like doing a sport, having a kid. There's nothing that could ever compare to that feeling out here. You're never gonna find what you can get doing that, or honestly, doing none of that, but without getting high. You're still gonna be way better off and feel better than you would out here getting high. I don't care who you are. That speaks for anybody. And the drugs and the consequences from drugs don't discriminate, so don't think you're special, because you're not. If you start doing this, bad things are coming your way. You can bet on it, dude. You can bet on it. I'm sure you can agree. It's just inevitable, you know?
Well, Dave, I appreciate your time and I appreciate you sharing your story.
I appreciate you letting me.